course, but right now I want to pivot and remain focused on that holy war that is eating up the Democrats right now. And you have to wonder, if there wasn't all of this early voting across the country, would some of those districts in Virginia, for example, with high numbers of Jewish voters, would some of those races have flipped to the Republicans if people had voted after October 7th or after the pathetic response from numerous Democrats to the terrorist attacks in Israel? And this is a question that both Democrats and Republicans have to consider. It's clear after this year's off-year election, the GOP's kryptonite is abortion. And the Democrats have used the divisive issue to crush Republican hopes all over America. But for the Democrats, it's the open anti-Semitism of many members of Congress, sitting members of Congress, and tens of thousands in the streets that are chasing Jewish voters away by the millions now. And while Republicans seem unable to solve the abortion question, Democrats are equally desperate to get away from the question of whether they support Israel or the Palestinians. You see, they're trying to come up with a new way of answering this question in real time and thread the needle so they don't offend anyone else. Here's Democrat Senator Mark Warner trying it out. Listen.
There needs to be this humanitarian pause. And I think that is appropriate. And I do think, I hope that some of the scenes we've seen of the level of bombing will not be necessary, because you've now got Israeli troops surrounding Gaza City, and it will be a challenge taking out these tunnels and taking out the Hamas leadership. But clearly, in terms of world opinion, Israel for a number of weeks now has been losing that world opinion consideration, and you see that by protest breaking out everywhere. And again, it's in Israel's best interest not to have the other Arab states that have created Abraham Accord recognitions to drop away from those accords. It's in Israel's best interest to make sure that you don't have this wanton settler violence against Palestinians in the West Bank. And I just hope that the Israeli government recognizes that.
Bloviating, equivocating. This is obviously an issue they cannot seem to manage or solve. You see, Joe Biden claims he stands with Israel, but more and more members of his administration are critical of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for pushing the IDF deeper and deeper into Gaza. 1,400 Israeli civilians were, of course, slaughtered by Hamas terrorists and that are backed by and financed by Iran. The total number of casualties now is somewhere around 10,000 following Israel's brutal counteroffensive into Gaza. And again, this exposes the Democrats' internal holy war. And on the other side of that war, from Senator Mark Warner, is Jewish Democrat member of the House, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who says anyone not condemning Hamas openly, period, paragraph, has no soul.